So here's the other Indigo. This one had a bad power supply. It wouldn't even chime when it turns on. I don't even think the light came on. So I'm currently fixing the power supply on this one. So here's the label on the power supply, and it has all the output levels here. 5 volt, 12 volts, negative 12, 3.3, negative 5, and auxiliary 5, which is an always on 5 volts. And just looking at the amperage on here for 40, 12, 12, I can make an educated guess and calculate which colors are what based on how many there are and how thick it is. So 5 volts, 40 amps would be 200 watts. 12 at 12, 144 watts. So should be pretty easy. I can measure the voltage from my other one, but it's also not working. So this definitely helps. And ITT. So here's the power supply out of the green Indigo, the one that wouldn't power up at all. And it has quite a lot of shorts in a few places. I think that diode there was one of them. That one actually tested okay, the CR111. But it seemed like a lot of things went wrong with this, or have gone wrong over the years. And it would be a lot easier just to replace the power supply with the modern one. And here's something I'll try using. And it's pretty much the same voltages that the Indigo uses. There's 12 volts, 5 volts, 3.3, negative 12, ground. And I think that's about it. So this is the original. It looks to be, what is it, 20 pin? Something like that. So let's go through here and find one. So is that it? I want to do this one actually. Yep, okay. So I need 2 of those and a little piece that goes on the top there, that white cover in here. Okay, so I went through my connector box and got the parts I needed. This is the exact same connector, and how these work, it's kind of like a punch tool, pushes the wire down into those little grooves there in focus, and once that's done, it's locked down with one of these retainer brackets that goes over it. You can see that one here. It's L-shaped one at the top that's starting to come off there. And then once that's all done and you want to make it look pretty, you stick that on somewhere, I think. So I'm going to start assembling this power supply, redoing all the wires and making them neat. I'll do that now. Here's the first part done with the grounds. There's 4 on each side, just like this one here. And I double checked to make sure these grounds are connected on the board, and they are. As you can see, they go together. Next ones, I'm probably going to work on the yellows, and then the very last things I need to do are like the negative 12, which is blue, and the green and black is I think the power switch. Okay, so just by looking at these colors and how they're laid out on the board, I've made some guesses on their voltages. This power supply has two 12-volt connections, I'm assuming, because the yellows and these oranges over here are, well, here's a regular Molex connector, and you can see this, the orange wire goes there, but that's usually a 12-volt pin on a normal power supply. So I'm going to say that's 12 volts as well as the yellow. And if you look at how the circuit's laid out, so here's another board that's inside of the power supply. It's some kind of sensing circuit or protection circuit. And it has all the pins labeled right here. All the pins are labeled, and that will be a lot easier to figure out where some of those unknown wires go. There's negative 5 volt, 3 volt, 12 IRI. I don't know what that means. Just so I can wrap up this video, I haven't actually put that one back together yet. Working on other things, other parts of the Indigo. But pull this out here. You can see how far I've gotten. But the rest just needs to be done. It's nothing more than attaching the correct wires. So, I mean, I got hundreds of little computer things to work on and get distracted. Sometimes something's so challenging that I'll put it away instead of keep working on it and end up breaking it. Turn the light on. So these two systems are, this one works, but it does not have display on the graphics card, so I have recapped the daughter board because it was shorted out in that other video. And that one I haven't really done much with at all, except for redo the power supply, make a new power supply. See, I have a lot of computers. I got both my old compacts working again. I rebuilt both keyboards using the foam pad and foil, or foam pad and static bag method, and it works great. So that's the end of this video, I guess. Here's a package I'm sending off to Avery. He's been working on a lot more electronics, and I had a bunch of extra stamps laying around. So I thought I'd finally use some of them. From Fur Plus Surplus. It's just a big box of capacitors and parts.